What's up, guys? Hi, if you're new here, my name is Selena. If you're not, welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing 5 tips that you can start right now to having a positive mindset. Growing up, don't ever give anyone else something to talk about was like the rule when it came to sharing my own problems or issues. In my own confusion, it grew to lies with a happy face and burying my problems to the point of a mental breakdown. Before family gatherings, it was advised that what goes on at home is no one else's business but ours. Therefore, we didn't speak about what might have been going on at the time. I went through my young to adult life not knowing how to process my feelings and emotions, or ever learned how to express or release my anger. Instead, it was easier to pretend that everything was fine. Because of this, I became closed off and introverted. The only action that made sense to me was to withdraw from whatever was making me feel bad and keep quiet. Since I couldn't express what was truly going on with me, I kept to myself. I got to an age where I began believing that I didn't fit in with my family. I was too young for the adult table and I was too old for the kid table. So finding where I fit in was a struggle. Going back to my mental breakdown story, which by the way, if you haven't seen yet, go ahead and click here before you continue. I realized that when presented with trigger moments, I automatically reverted back to my younger self methods of coping. I instantly did everything that made me feel bad. This was the cycle I subconsciously created for myself. Push it down and ignore it, don't talk about it, shut down, keep to myself, and feeling depressed while appearing lazy to others. All of this because of the action of keeping it to myself and not talking about it. It's just not worth it. A friend I had confided in during my mental breakdown referred me to the book Untamed by Glennon Doyle. It was a great book and I recommend it as a must for all women to read. There's a specific chapter early on titled Sparks, and I want to pull the book to read this insert for you. When I say early on, it's literally page 4. This is what Glennon says. After that day, I began to ask myself, where did my spark go at 10? How had I lost myself? I've done my research and learned this. 10 is when we learn how to be good girls and real boys. 10 is when children begin to hide who they are in order to become what the world expects them to be. Right around 10 is when we begin to internalize our formal taming. 10 is when the world sat me down, told me to be quiet, and pointed toward my cages. These are the feelings you are allowed to express. This is how a woman should act. This is the body you should strive for. These are the things you will believe. These are the people you can love. These are the people you should fear. This is the kind of life you're supposed to want. Reading this, I learned that you don't have to suffer in silence. I was not alone in feeling these things. This is what happens to us at that age. We're put in cages. Mine happened to be in my head, listening to the constant self-doubt loop on repeat. You're not enough. You're lazy. No one gets me. I have no one to talk to. I'm all alone. Tony Robbins once said, if you're in your head, you're dead. So today I'm sharing 5 tips for you to start right now to having a positive mindset. Tip number 1 is start the day off with a positive affirmation. How you start your morning sets the tone for the rest of your day. Have you ever woken up late, panicked, and then felt like nothing else went good that day? It's most likely because you started the day with a negative emotion. So pick any of these positive affirmations or create your own to repeat to yourself every morning to start your day off with the positive mindset. I dream, I believe, I receive. This is one of the ones that I say daily each morning. Another is I believe in the woman I'm becoming. I am enough. I am capable. I am kind. I am worthy of good things. I am abundant. I am powerful. I am valuable. I am magnificent. I am successful. I'm optimistic. I'm courageous. Pick a few of your favorites and just start repeating those to yourself every morning. Write them down so you don't forget. Post them up so it's somewhere you see every morning when you get up. I have mine in my bedroom, so every morning getting ready, I see them and I say them. And it starts my day off in the right mindset. The next step is to stand guard at the door of your mind. This is a great quote from Jim Rohn. Basically means to monitor your thoughts. Transform negative self-talk into positive self-talk. When you catch yourself having a negative thought, replace it with a positive one. For example, if you say, I'm so bad at this, I'll never be good. You can turn that around to, once I get more practice, I'll be better at this. Or, I shouldn't have tried that, can become, things didn't work out as planned. Maybe I'll change my approach next time. When there is a negative thought, catch yourself and identify that it is your ego speaking or your imposter. We all struggle with the imposter syndrome. I struggle with mine telling me I'm not good enough. I plan to do another video going into more detail and how to start doing your work so your ego doesn't get in your way. The third tip is practice gratitude. Get a notebook around the house or buy yourself a little journal and write down at least one thing each day that you're grateful for. If you can think of more, that's great, but start off small. Sometimes in the beginning you may not feel like you have anything to be grateful for. If that's the case, this is the tip I want you to use first. An example of a gratitude log, I would put, today I lost 1 pound. Or, today I hit my step goal. Today I didn't have an anxiety attack. Or, today the weather was great and I got to eat my lunch outside. There's a multitude of things that you could be grateful for, and everybody's gratitude will be different. To keep track and have the opportunity to look back on what you're grateful for keeps you in that mindset, and you're going to attract more of that. Tip number 4 is to have an emotional outlet. Human beings are emotional beings. Some people are good at hiding their emotions. Others are better showing them. There are different outlets to release your emotions. My 2 favorite ways of releasing my emotions are to be physical, to stand up, move around. Some people prefer running, walking, boxing. We've tried that before and it actually works quite nice. I've done some kickboxing in my past and that was also very helpful. You can even try screaming. Trust me, I've sat in my car and I just screamed to the top of my lungs as many times as I needed to just to get it out. Then reflecting in my journal once my mind has settled. Tip 5 is change your surroundings. Kind of goes with tip 4. I find that if my space is cluttered, my brain can't function, especially when I'm working in my office. If my desk is cluttered and unorganized, I feel like I can't focus on anything. So take 5 to 10 minutes and start organizing, clear some space. Lighting a candle also helps so you can awaken your sense of smell. Please just understand that by trying these simple tips, you're not going to wake up tomorrow with a positive mindset. This is going to be a conscious daily choice. Some days will be easy and some will be harder. But the more often you take these daily simple steps, the closer you will be to having that positive mindset. If you found any of these tips helpful, please hit that like button below and let me know in the comments. If you have any tips to add, please also let me and everybody else watching know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for my next video where I'll be discussing 7 things I wish I learned sooner. Danke! Hey guys, good morning. I'm gonna admit that I'm having a rough morning. I said my affirmations. It's kind of serendipitous that I'm feeling this way today after just recording my 5 tips on how to have a positive mindset, because I'm not having one today. It's okay, you know, because when you do have these, you need to embrace the fact that you don't have to be perfect always, and that I think has always been a problem of mine. It's the perfectionist in me, and I'm the hardest on myself, I believe, because I have such high standards. I want to be my best and give my best, but I'm having a rough morning. I just was in my office crying, and I realized that I have the power to control my mindset and my thoughts, and I was being harsh on myself. So I took tip, I think, number 4. It says to release your emotions or get physical. So I went for a little walk. I came outside. I'm on my balcony now, taking a quick break just to feel the air on my skin, listen to the birds sing. You hear them? I was literally crying a couple minutes ago, guys. I'm telling you, these tips work. You just need to catch yourself. I could have stood there in the moment. I could have been stuck crying in my office to myself, feeling sorry for myself. I honestly think it's because it's my time of the month. It's gonna start soon, so sorry TMI, but you know, I personally have all the emotions when it's my week of the month, and I'm feeling it. So I acknowledged it, I accepted it. It's okay. I can feel these things. I don't need to be so harsh on myself, and I'm turning it around. That a moment doesn't have to last all day. Just remember that. A moment doesn't have to last all day. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for some bloopers. Today I'm sharing 5 steps to... I think that one was so good! I think I wore this shirt in a Jeffree Star unboxing. Oh no, this was my Fitbit shirt. Yeah, I wore this for my Fitbit unboxing video. That was a good one. Okay. Let's get this started. This is anxious energy. This is what I do. Let's just jump right on in. Growing up, don't ever give anybody else something to talk about. Growing up, don't ever give anyone something growing up, don't ever give anyone something else to talk about was kind of like the rule. Don't ever give anyone else something to talk about. Don't ever give anyone anything. These aren't my words. This is how I would say it. Growing up, I was told never to talk about my issues. You've got a higher power, and seem to be second, just every hour.